Hey guys, and welcome to another IndieTips.com tutorial here on UglyMcGregor. Today we're going to look at how you can pass off one location as somewhere else. Now this could be in regards to geography, it could be in regards to making a location seem like something it is not, such as a busy restaurant when in fact it's empty. Now actors do this all the time. They're able to change the pitch and vocal patterns of their voice and appear to be a native of another country, and filmmakers are required to do this as well. A scene might take place in Ireland when in fact you're based in France, or vice versa, and it might not be practical to travel to a different country, or the budget to do so might not even be there. So today, we're not going to focus on props, set design, costume. These things can quickly run up the budget. Instead, we're going to focus on some digital assets from the computer, so sound, color, stock footage, as well as having a look how you can make somewhere appear a lot more busier and have a lot more extras than you actually have with your crew. So first off, let's take this restaurant shot from a recent shoot. And this is our main character, and this is the restaurant, and it's supposed to be busy on a Saturday night. Well, at the time of shooting, it was Monday morning at 7 AM, and we didn't have a single extra. For this scene, we only had a £5 budget, which was spent on the salad and a bottle of wine, which I'm drinking currently to make this tutorial. Take into account that your crew members and even your actors can double up as extras. Right here, this is the camera assistant, set crew member number 1, set crew member number 2. This here is the waitress, that is the sound guy, and the waiter here is actually the main antagonist. Everyone brought an extra set of clothes to dress somewhat smartly, and the payoff is great. And the thing that sells this as being a credit restaurant is the sound design. Without it, it sounds a little something like this.
Would you like anything to drink, sir?
Oh, I'm still waiting. Thank you.
With it, it sounds like this.
Would you like anything to drink, sir?
Oh, I'm still waiting. Thank you.
I can't remember if I read this information in a book or in a Soundworks collection video. I'm pretty sure it was in a book, but the sound designer said that he initially thought the best process of recording sound design was to capture a scene in its fullest. So for example, with a restaurant, going into one and recording everyone eating, talking, all the movement all at once. Yeah, he found out that this actually wasn't the best option to take. You see, with our hearing, we can focus to a specific auditory stimuli. This is known as the cocktail party effect, where one can theoretically focus his attention on a particular stimulus, such as his colleague Bob talking crap about him in a noisy room. We do it all the time. However, with a microphone, it picks up everything that you point it towards, kind of like a Hoover. It sucks up all available sound. Now instead, what was suggested was to record the sound elements separately. So the eating of food, the clattering of plates, different groups of people gossiping, doors opening, people getting up to go to the toilet and so forth. This is more effective. You're going to be able to adjust these settings on the fly. If you just take a sound effect of a restaurant, one big clump, there's not a lot of playing room that you're going to have. What else can we do with sound to help sell this scene? Well, a lot of restaurants usually have music over the top. So you might want to have a piece of music that is playing through the restaurant speakers, but if you just drag the track onto your timeline, it's going to sound like it's part of the soundtrack. To blend the music in, you want to add some reverb. Now on Premiere, you can do this by selecting reverb in the audio effects folder, dragging it onto your clip. Now up here, you can choose a pre-made setting, and we're going to go with this one because it's in conjunction with the actual size of the restaurant. This is going to add the required reverb to make the sound more realistic. Now let's have a listen to that.
Would you like anything to drink, sir?
Oh, I'm still waiting. Thank you.
There we go, much better. And finally, we need to include the sounds that would be coming from outside of the restaurant. For this specific scene, there is a thunderstorm going on outside, Again, if we just drag it onto the timeline, it doesn't seem realistic. It would sound like as if the thunderstorm was taking place inside the restaurant. And what we need to do here is run a low pass filter over the top of it. So if we drag this onto the thunder clip and we lower the gain down, it's going to cut off any frequency higher than the cutoff point. Now let's play this clip again. See, now it has the effect of sounding like it's outside. This is great as well with music. Perhaps you want to pass off the effect that there's music coming from next door. Example.
No, you're not. She's not coming.
There we go, low pass filter, remember that. As you can see, sound alone can really help sell the effect of being somewhere, when in fact the reality of the location is different. Next, let's look at color. Certain regions of the world have their own color palette. And let's have a look at a few examples. The Icelandic glaciers, downtown New York, the Welsh countryside, the Australian outback. While these examples are extreme, and perhaps sometimes the color scheme from Paris to New York varies only slightly, we can see that different colors are predominant in different locations around the world. With this in mind, we can use color to manipulate the audience into thinking that a scene is taking place in a location that is not. For this flashback scene here, the character was ambushed and tied up and was about to be interrogated. Now this was supposed to be in the African bush. For me, filming there was nothing but a dream within a dream. This was where the scene was actually filmed, about 2 miles away from my house. Now from research, the African bush, there was a clear abundance of gold in the colour palette. And when I was researching films shot in that area, there was always a definitive warmth to the stills I was looking at. Now while this isn't a staple point for all films shot in the African wilderness, it was enough to latch onto a generic convention to work with. I tweaked the reds and the hue of the greens to create the golden crop in the background, and then I warmed up the colour balance and finished with this. Through colour alone, we've changed our entire location to somewhere that exists 2,000 miles away. Now onto stock footage. Now the best part about filmmaking is that we can so easily trick the audience. I like to watch behind the scenes of every film I come across. When I was first getting into filmmaking properly at the age of 16, 17, I think Transformers was just released on DVD. And I was completely shocked to see that 2 interconnecting shots of Megan Fox's character were filmed 250 miles apart, one in Chicago and one in the studio. But because the colour, costume, set design matched in both shots, the audience didn't suspect a thing. Now with that notion in mind, you can manipulate the audience's perception of the location by interwoven footage shot at the actual location. I have this shot. Again, I needed it to be set in the wilderness of Africa. I have the colours manipulated to look like the palette, the setting bears. This character has just found out some bad news. She's going to have to leave the conservation that she's been on for a while and has come to love. And I needed her to look out into the distance and see something that she's really, really going to miss of the African wilderness. Now, what can I do to cement the notion that we are in Africa? Now this is where the stock footage comes in. Now to buy stock footage, it can sometimes cost a bomb. In a previous video, we touched upon the use of video blocks where you can download over 100,000 clips on a subscription fee of just $99 a year. Well, since the last video, video blocks have now launched a subscriber-only marketplace where you can download twice the amount of clips. Well, at current anyway, this amount is always increasing. And a lot of these clips are in 4K and of cinematic quality. Now, this is the biggie as well. Video blocks actually take away $0 from the artist. If I was to buy this clip right here, the user gets the full amount I'm paying for. Like this before, everything's 100% royalty free. You can use it for your sister's wedding video. You can use it in a commercial that you got paid 20 grand for. Now, let's have a look at something that we can use for this clip, for this character. Now, I think this giraffe clip works really well here. And the base color is already the same as the footage I've shot. There we go. So I'm going to download this, pay for it. Now with a little color tweak, I can match them up. And you may notice here that there's a sun glint in the actress's eyes. So I'm just going to add an optical flare from the Video Copilot plugin on the giraffe clip to sell the light direction. And here's the final clip. So there you have it, 3 simple but effective digital methods and 1 real world method on selling your location being something that is not Now remember to check out the sponsor videoblocks.com. You can start a 7-day free trial. We can download up to 140 clips, and if you want, cancel before the trial's up and you still get to keep the clips without paying any money. Catch you next time.